Rise and shine, mothers and brothers. Let it grow and let it flow. Good morning to you. How are you today? I'm doing great. Not groomed up because my hair and beard are still a little bit wet, so I do it when I get to work. So sometimes I look like Aqualung on the way to work. Sometimes I feel sorry for the guy that comes in my first appointment and sees me like that, and he's thinking, oh my God. That's funny. Hey, anyways, I want to talk to you about what is success. What is success? I've been called everything from a greedy old motherfucker to how much is enough? You stingy, greedy, your heart is in the wrong place. I mean, you can't even imagine. When you put yourself out in public and put yourself, out front with ideas and opinions, which I have a lot of unique ideas. I have a lot of unique opinions. And right now, traffic is at a damn standstill. Look at this. Didn't I tell you? You got to be ready for stuff. Okay, I pull out of the neighborhood, and it's now bumper to damn bumper. Bumper to bumper. On a road that I'm usually just flying through on. I'm getting out of Pennsylvania, man. I have lived in Pennsylvania I'm from New York. I moved here to go to college. And I never left here. Traveled the country and the world. And I've been saying since I moved here, Pennsylvania has the worst roads in the United States. Everything is always under construction. Everything. Nothing is ever completed, ever in Pennsylvania. Okay, I'm done. What is success? Success for me, and I want you to think about what success is for you. It's not about material possessions. For me, the biggest thing that I want is I want to be able to help my children out when they become adults. I have limited exposure to them, not by my choice. When they become adults, they may seek me out, they may not, but I want to be there for them. And I want to be able to have the wisdom and the resources to help them out. That's number one. It's not how you start the game, it's how you finish. And my parenting didn't have a good start, let me put it that way. The other thing is this. My parents, my dad's in his 80s, mom's in her late 70s. Talking with Dad the other day, he's, because I'm thinking about moving to Florida at least for the winter, a minimum for the winter, if not permanently. Working on getting my hair license in Florida. I'm one step away from obtaining my license to do hair down there. And I was going to go to Florida this week. And I'm going to be going to a hair show in June, so I thought, let me consolidate trips. I like to double up on purposes. I like to not so much multitask, which is kind of difficult to do. And there is the myth of multitasking. But I want double and triple and quadruple purposes, which means I can go to Florida, to Orlando, to go to the hair show, to see and be seen, learn some things, take some classes, advance my career, do a little meet and greet stuff like I did in New York 2 weeks ago at the hair show. But also, get down and see my mom and dad and my brother, which are about an hour from Orlando on the East Coast, living on the beach. And when I decided that I'm not going to go down until June, my father said something to the effect of, we're not getting any younger. And I know what he was trying to say. And he finally, a few sentences later, said, we're not going to be here a long time. And I know what he was saying. In other words, get down here and spend some time with us, because I'm letting you know life doesn't go on forever. And it almost makes me sad to think about it. Those of you who've lost parents, I can't imagine. I still have both of my parents. And it breaks my heart to even think, to even let my mind go there of not having my mom and dad around. Even though I'm an old guy who has old parents. But they're healthy, they've had their health challenges, but I want to spend time with them. When you're younger, you want to fly the coop. When you're older, you kind of want to get back to your roots, at least family roots. I don't want to get back to roots of foolishness. As I like to say, I made all the mistakes so you don't have to. This YouTube channel is a service to you. If you're a young person, I share my mistakes with you. If you're an old person, you can commiserate. And also, I can let you know that it's never too late to start living a great life and be a success. And I think that's important for you to hear. Your life isn't over. But when you're at the end of your life, people don't, generally speaking, I don't know what the average age of an American is anymore. But when people get up in their 70s and 80s, it's starting to be closing time. Okay? It's last call. So you enjoy life as much as possible. So for me, success would be to spend time with my parents in their last years. That's super important. To make a phenomenal living while I'm doing it, and also to have the resources to help my parents if they need that in their older age. I don't want to put my parents away in a home or anything like that. I need the resources. So my drive for success, continued success, my drive for wealth, that's what's pulling me, is I want to take care of my mom and dad. I want them to be comfortable. When my children, who are teenagers now, one is 20, the other two are teenagers, when they become adults, I want to be able to share wisdom and resources with them that I wasn't able to when they were younger. This is weird because, honestly, it's first thing in the morning for me. And even just talking about, there's no other topic in the whole world, maybe one other topic, but there's no other topic in the whole world that I'm like one notch away from shedding tears when I talk about. So for me to remain calm and in control, emotionally in control while I'm talking about this, is a major miracle. Because 1 year ago, last summer, when I was talking about my dad and my family and stuff, I'm like crying, if you remember, on one of the Beards Without Borders things. I'm sitting there crying, and I've never cried in front of people before, ever. So that was a new thing, and I swore that I would never do it again. But I will tell you, my why, everyone always talks about, figure out what your why is for success. My why is so damn strong and so compelling and so moral and so ethical that I can't imagine not wanting to pursue that. I can't imagine not wanting to pursue that end of offering resources and wisdom to my children and care for my parents. That is so important for me. That's my why. So for me, that's how I define success. Some people will define it as money in the bank. I know what I need to do. I need to have the almost unlimited funding to be able to provide that kind of stuff. I'm not any less of a parent or a son because of that, but I will tell you this. People who will call you greedy, even in spite of wanting to be a good provider for your children or aging parents, are so out of touch. They're so out of touch. I live in a country where the government doesn't take care of you. Some of you live in countries where, you pay 3/4 of your wages to the government just to be barely comfortable. It's not like that here. I want you to be as successful as you want to be. And I want you to have unlimited success, and I want your drive. Governments squash your motivation. Wherever you live, your government is squashing your motivation. That's why I love America, because the sky is the damn limit. The sky is the limit. And that's why I encourage people to pursue the highest and best goals that you can possibly reach in your lifetime. That's so important. So what is success for you? Is it a car? Is it a house in a certain location? Is it health? As I've gotten older and have had some health issues, not major, they could be major if they were unchecked, I start to realize, wow, health is so darn important. Without health, you have nothing. Nothing. How would you like to have someone have to wipe your ass? Now, I know there's people who are watching this channel. You have a personal care assistant, someone who bathes you, someone who does your ADLs, your activities of daily living, your grooming and stuff. And I feel for you, and my heart goes out to you, but you've toughened up, you have adapted, and people's struggles are relative. The struggle for an able-bodied person is different than the struggle for someone who is not able-bodied or other-abled. So what is success for you? Define that. And the best success, the best goal is one that is moral and ethical and can provide for you and your family. And if you can provide for other people's families as well, how awesome would that be? If you are creating a company, that someone is always making a left turn there that drives me nuts, and I never think about it until I get behind them. If you're creating a company that has employees that can help them provide for their families, you are doing so well. You're doing so good. It's a good thing to employ people. Not everyone is able to go far. The sky is the limit for everybody, but some people, they are in the way. The obstacle and the roadblock is themselves. And that's just the way it is. And some people will live their whole life just getting by. They'll say stuff like, well, I'm happy, I pay my bills, I'm comfortable, and they don't have that ongoing drive. And I know there's always going to be the people who comment down below, how much is enough? You're greedy. It's like, shut the hell up, will you please? Shut up. Continue to be poor, broke, and broke in your mind, not just your wallet. Your mind is broke. Actually, you're in debt. You owe money in your mind. You owe. What you're doing is You're a poor steward of what God has given you. And you're just clinging for dear life to every little thing you have and condemning other people who want more. See you later, man. My message to you is define what your success is. If it's moral and ethical, that's a beautiful thing, and that's a great driver, and it's a great why. It's compelling. That's a good thing. I just wanted to share that with you. I don't want to ramble on anymore. I think that's important for you to hear. It might be motivating to some, not motivating to others. The right people, it's almost like the parables that Jesus talked about. And he said, for those that have ears to hear, let them hear this. Sometimes messages fall on rocky soil and nothing's going to grow. I never know. There's times where I just talk about stuff and I will get an email from somebody. And in that email, someone says, you have no idea how much that spoke to me, touched me, moved me. I made up with someone who I had a bad relationship with. I settled some affairs. I started a business because of you. And I'm like, wow, I had no idea. They had ears to hear what the message was. And I think it's important for us to open up our ears. Not everything I say and teach is going to be a life-changing thing for everybody. I share things that change my life. And it might change your life, it might not. So I would ask you to be open and consider this, that what is your definition of success, and what is your compelling why? What is pulling you forward? There's things that push you from behind, failures and doubts and catastrophes and bad consequences of bad decisions, and that's for another chat. But what pulls you forward? You think about that. I hope it helps.